How would you react if your partner kissed someone else? Have you ever given this thought any thought? In what way would you feel? What would happen if, rather than feeling upset, you never felt anything at all? What would happen if your partner became even more enraged because of that reaction? My life has taken an unexpected turn, and I want to share a story about it with you all. The plot revolves around trust, betrayal, and consequences when feelings do not behave as anticipated. In the beginning, it was just another typical evening. Instead of going out with her friends, my wife stayed home and did some things. After some time had passed, she returned and informed me that she had kissed another man. She anticipated that I would be upset or angry. But here's the twist. I didn't feel anything. No anger, no pain, just calm. And that really upset her. She wanted a fight, proof that I cared. But all she got was my indifference. Her anger grew when she saw that I wasn't reacting. She couldn't understand why I wasn't upset, which made her furious. Stay with me until the end of this video to discover why my indifference led to the toughest decision of my life. Trust me, you won't want to miss how this story ends. My wife kissed another man on a night out, and I wasn't bothered. Now she's causing issues over it. We've been together since we were 18. Our sex life was never great after the first year, maybe once or twice a year since then. Right now, it's been almost 3 years. Although it bothers me, I love her and our kids, so I never made a big deal out of it. Many of my friends are in the same situation. A bit of context, I've always been slightly overweight, but fit because I played many sports. About 10 years ago, I got really ill. The medications and comfort eating made me balloon up to nearly 300 pounds. 2 years ago, I decided to do something about it. Now, at around 200 pounds and 6'2", I'm the lightest I've been as an adult. I've enjoyed using weights, and I have a bit of abs and some muscle for the first time in my life. My wife, who is always far more attractive, is insecure because, for the first time, other women are starting to notice and message me on social media. For the record, I've never even looked at another woman that way. On the night in question, my wife went out with friends, some single, some in relationships. She looked stunning, and I told her so. I even updated my phone's home screen with a picture of her. About 3 months ago, one of her friends messaged me saying she knows I get no sex and my wife doesn't realize how lucky she is. She asked if I wanted to hook up. I took a screenshot and sent it to my wife. Around 4 a.m., my wife came home and woke me up because she wanted to get into bed. I was half awake, but I could tell something was wrong. When I asked what the matter was, she didn't say anything. As I went to grab her hand, she pulled away. I asked if she wanted me to get her a drink, and she said no. Then she just blurted out. She met a guy that night, and he kissed her. At first, she didn't kiss back, but then she did. They spent the next half hour dancing and constantly kissing. She kept saying sorry and begged me not to leave her. My honest first reaction was, so what? It's only kissing and dancing. I didn't say that. I hugged and tried calming her down. An hour or so later, once I found the right words, I told her I knew she felt guilty but not to worry. I wasn't going to leave her or break up our family over some kissing and dancing. I didn't love her any less than I did yesterday, and this wasn't something that would grow and cause resentment. Right on cue, my phone went off. It was her friend with a picture and a video of my wife's actions. This set my wife off again, but my feelings didn't change. A month later, that remains true. In the month since my wife kissed another man, she has accused me of not loving her because I didn't care. She's accused me of kissing other people and covering up my own indiscretions. She's even accused me of being gay multiple times, which doesn't make sense. She keeps asking why I haven't initiated anything with her, even though she has told me that she hates being touched and not trying anything, which I have respected. She's projecting, and it's annoying me because it puts a strain on us which she is 100% causing. How do I convince her she must stop feeling guilty and move on because I have? It's not a big deal. When she broke my baking bowl and tried to blame it on the cat, I was genuinely more annoyed. Over the years, we have been to a few different couples counselors and sex therapists, the most recent being last September. My wife always feels like they are victimizing her, so we stop going. Nearly all have said they think she is asexual, with 2 even suggesting she displays signs of being a closet lesbian. I mentioned this before, and she is adamant she's not. Many people suggest she wants to feel wanted, and I should be more forward with her. This is not true. In all our sessions, she said she didn't want me to try it on with her. She doesn't even want me to initiate hugs, and just bringing up sex makes her feel under pressure. She told me and her therapists that if she ever has sex without her consent, it will be no more than pity sex. As for those saying I don't love her, I buy her flowers every Friday on my way home from work. Every weekend, I make her favorite cookies and cupcakes. I send her voice notes of songs that remind me of her. I tell her I love her every day. Every night I give her a bath. This isn't me showing off. This is how I was brought up to show love. For those who say I must have been brought up in an unloving home, that's not true. People said I don't love her if I didn't get jealous. If she told me she was having an emotional affair, spending hours on the phone with someone else, laughing and joking, snuggling on the sofa, eating chocolates and watching TV, I'd be devastated. A dance and a kiss aren't a big deal to me, and they're not even close to divorce-worthy. It's 7 a.m. the day after I posted this. I've been talking to my wife since 6. I said she has a week to agree to go back to couples counseling and stick it out this time without accusing them of taking sides and refusing to return. She said no. She said they all bully her and make her out to be the bad guy. She said I went back on my word that I forgave her and wouldn't resent her. I said this wasn't about kissing, but her reaction after the kiss. It feels like she's purposely trying to drive me away and make me leave her. She stormed out of the room, dressed, and said she would go out until I went to work. She's trying to sabotage the relationship and getting mad that I won't let her. That's the conclusion I'm heartbreakingly coming to. This hurts infinitely more than seeing her kiss someone else. Did it ever occur to you that she wanted you to be jealous and fight for her? Blowing it off and being nonchalant about it makes her feel like you don't care about other men hitting on her. All she wants is for you to get jealous about what happened, because if you don't, it's going to escalate from kissing to an affair just to get your attention and reaction. If she's playing those sorts of games, I will leave her. That's how teenagers do it, not adults in their 40s. She told me that her friends had evidence that a great guy was being screwed behind his back. I believe that's the only reason she told me. She knew she'd been filmed. She looks at the camera at the end of the video, then darts towards it, and the video ends. Others have said the same, but you need a grown-up conversation to understand what is happening here. Is the relationship working? Are you both committed, and do you see a future together? If so, couples counseling is the only way to go. You can't fix it here. If not, then divorce. Do it as gently as possible, but do it quickly. There is no point in dragging something out that is destined to fail. I'm happy to spend the rest of my life with her. I love her, my kids, and the life we have. Would I like more sex? Yes, but we've been to doctors. We've been to sex counselors, and they found no problems. She's just who she is, and I'm happy to live with that if it means I get to be with her and the kids. First, her friend who has the hots for me is in her ear. Second, maybe I need to look into our relationship and rekindle the romance. Maybe that's what she needs. Why would her friend know about it? Maybe we are acting like old married couples and too young for that. I try to be romantic. On my way home from work, I buy her flowers every Friday. Every weekend, I bake her favorite snacks. I even do stupid little things like give her the dinner that looks most presentable on the plate. I'll get out of bed early on cold mornings to warm her car up and defrost it before she drives to work. On the physical side, I always tell her how beautiful and hot she looks because she is. She's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, and I wouldn't change anything about her. She couldn't be more perfect for me. I don't know what more I can do. Her friend sent me a long message, and it seems like she knows an awful lot. She also sees it firsthand. There was one bit that I kept thinking back to. When her friend was at our house, I made my wife a homemade card and wrote a poem. When I left the room, my wife made a gagging face at her friend and started laughing. I remember hearing a noise and then laughing. I thought she just choked on her drink. That hurts me infinitely more than a kiss or a dance. If she's not attracted to men, I have asked her this numerous times throughout the marriage, and even suggested that if she wants to explore that side of herself, she could try to find herself and be who she is. She's always batted it away and said she's not a lesbian. She has a low sex drive. This has always been my thought over the years, and I've brought it up to her privately, in couples counseling and in sex therapy. The sex therapist also said she's giving a lot of signs of being a closeted lesbian as well. If you had sex once a year, how did you have kids? Both times we tried for kids, she got pregnant pretty much instantly. The first took a month and the second took 2 months. We'd have sex every day, but no foreplay or anything, unfortunately. One more clarification. If she told me she loved someone else, I'd be devastated. I'd be devastated if she told me she was talking to another man on the phone for hours a week, laughing and joking. I'd be devastated if she said she attended a flower arranging class with someone else. I just don't think a kiss is a big deal. First, congrats on the weight loss journey from 300 lb to 200 lb. The main event is your wife's midnight rendezvous with Mr. Mystery Lips. She spills the beans about locking lips with a stranger, and you're just there like, meh, it's just kissing and dancing. But now you're stuck in a whirlwind of accusations, from being accused of being gay to not caring enough about her smooch fest. It sounds like your wife's projecting harder than a movie theater screen. From accusing you of infidelity to questioning your sexuality, she's pulling out all the stops. And now you're caught in the crossfire of her guilt trip. It's been nearly 2 weeks since I made the post, and the short update is that we are getting divorced. I said in my last post that I wanted us to go back to couples counseling and sex therapy. She said no to both as we had before, and she felt bullied. She said at sex therapy that unless she initiates touching, not just sex, any touching like hugs or hand-holding, it will be against her will and will force pity and affection from her. The sex therapist said that's very unreasonable, and that's why she felt bullied there. I tried to ask her a few questions too. Are you a lesbian or at least bi? Don't be stupid. Are you asexual? I'm not a teenager with a stupid label. What did he have? Nothing, I just wanted to do it. Why don't you ever want to do that with me? I don't know. What can I do to make you want to do that to me? Don't know. Do you want me to take the initiative and try it out more with you? No, I'll tell you when I want it. Don't guess. So she refused the therapy and gave me no straight answers. She has also said I've gone back on my word about not letting the kiss split us up because now it is. I said it wasn't the kiss but your reaction to it. My behavior since then has caused me to want a divorce. She said it was my decision and fault, so I should tell the kids. She's not involved. As soon as they were told, my wife left for her sister's. In the 3 days since, I haven't heard from her. I've tried speaking to her about the kids, but she reads my messages and ignores me. Many asked about the friend. My wife tried to cut her off but failed. The friend threatened to send me the video if my wife didn't tell me. My wife didn't do it out of guilt, not choice. I've spoken to others in the group. Years ago, my wife texted a friend's boyfriend. She's boasted about having control over me without giving me anything in return. The friend saw me shopping and sought revenge on my wife. I feel relief since she left. I spent the day baking with my kids, smiling without fear. Thank you all for your support. We're divorcing. Some comments call her horrible, but I've seen things differently lately. Someone says I tried to save my marriage, but no woman is worth that treatment. It'll be rough, but I feel lighter since she left. Another community member offers support, emphasizing that the OP didn't fail their wife but rather themselves by internalizing toxic beliefs. They encourage the OP to recognize their value and stand up for themselves. The OP shares their continued fear of rejection and ridicule, even in simple interactions like choosing a movie with their kids. Another user points out that the wife refuses responsibility and manipulates the OP into being the bad guy. They suggest seeking external help for improvement. Another commenter warns about covert narcissism and advises the OP to regain their sanity. The OP acknowledges feeling blamed for everything wrong in their wife's life, from financial matters to minor accidents, further reflecting on the manipulative dynamics in their relationship. It sounds like your wife's pulling out all the stops in the blame game, huh? From refusing therapy to blaming you for the split. But hey, at least now you've got a load off your shoulders. That sigh of relief when she packed her bags. Peace is priceless. And let's not forget the juicy details about her little friend group, sexting scandals, secret tattoos, and more internal beef than a butcher shop.